So I was sitting down to edit this video. I had recorded it a couple days ago and I realized I didn't tell you what we were doing. So in today's video, we are gonna go through a day in my life. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I stay home with my 19-month-old son, Emmett. We aren't too crazy. We have 3 meals a day and play, clean, and sometimes we leave the house. So if you're at all interested, please join us in our day. I started my day out with yoga. Yoga with Adrienne is doing her 30-day yoga challenge, and I believe this day was day 18, which I'm actually super proud of. Once I was done with yoga, I went into the kitchen to heat up some water and make this lemon ginger tonic I learned from Jessica Spires on YouTube. It's basically, what is that called? Blended up lemons and ginger. And normally you strain out the pulp, but Rachel doesn't care if it's strained or not, and it's just an extra step, so I don't strain it. And then I didn't have enough lemons, so I tossed in some more lemon juice, and it was ready to go. After that, I sat down to read my book, and I'm not 100% sure of this series yet, so if it gets better, please let me know. After I read for a little bit, I just went into my room and I got ready just because Emmett was still sleeping at this point and I was trying to utilize my time in the best way I could since getting ready with a toddler can get kind of challenging sometimes. This one time a couple years ago, I tried that method where you have these little, what are they called? They just, you wrap your hair around them, but they can also form. So I wrapped my hair in them wet the night before, and the next morning I was taking them out of my hair, and I actually woke up and my hair was so curly. I had just kind of a tight afro around my head, and I wasn't going for that, obviously. So if you have any heatless curling method that works, please just let me know. So lately, I've only been doing my eyebrows because we went to Tokyo in November and I came home and I had this weird rash right underneath my eye. So my makeup was actually making it worse. And I use Burt's Bees, an Honest brand, so maybe I could find something better. But it turned out that my eyeshadow and my eyeliner was making this rash underneath my eye worse. Once I was done in the bathroom, I came out here and decided to make my bed. I do this every single morning because even if I get nothing else accomplished, at least my bed is made. I got something done and the house feels a little cleaner than it could have. So I actually started this during college because when people were walking in and out of my dorm room, I hated when my room was a mess. I just didn't want to look like a slob because all of these people, I had no idea who they were. Obviously, I knew who they were when they were coming into my dorms, but they were new friends and I just met them. But that kind of stuck with me. So the last 10 years, I've just been making the bed, and it's actually a pretty fast process now, but it makes me feel so good after it's done. So lately, I've been trying to leave making the bed for last in my morning routine just because I used to make it immediately when I got up, just so it would be done. I wouldn't want to get back into bed. But a few weeks ago, I had heard so much about people talking about when you make your bed immediately, it's still warm, mites and little bugs just want to be in it, and I don't want my bed to invite that in. So I've been trying to let it air out better and make it last in the morning instead of first. Next, I just needed to throw this load in the dryer because Rachel had started it right after her workout that morning and I didn't want it to sit all day, so I had to get it done before I forgot about it. Once I had the laundry in the dryer, I came over to the kitchen to fill my diffuser just because I like when it smells good in the house, and if I don't fill it right away in the morning for some reason, I just probably won't start it at all during that day, I've noticed about myself. So I'm trying to fix that and just get it started in the morning. Once Emmett woke up, we came out here so he could have some water while I had some coffee. He doesn't enjoy eating breakfast immediately, so we just sit here and have a little conversation until he's hungry. But he really wanted to go outside, but it was 28 degrees, so here's a little conversation. What do you want to do today? We can't go outside, it's too cold. It's cold. We might be able to go outside this afternoon. I know. I understand. It's cold. It's 28 degrees outside, which means... Once Emmett got hungry, he picked out cereal that he wanted for breakfast, so I got him all squared away in his high chair with some cereal and bananas and milk. And while he had breakfast, I emptied the dishwasher and cleaned up the kitchen, and we listened to some music. He's really into just listening to super simple songs, so we sing to that all day long. And you can see when he kicks his little feet, he's kind of dancing while he eats. He's pretty cute. He loves to dance. Does anybody else feel like they're constantly cleaning their kitchen? I feel like this took an insane amount of time, and it's a small kitchen, but it was also only the first time I'd be cleaning the kitchen this day. After breakfast, we went in the living room to play for a little bit. He has some mad skills on this slide. And after we played with some cars, and he loves this little mattress. We had an extra one, and he just loves to sit on it like it's his own little couch. He uses it to climb on top of the couch and drive cars on. He'll use it to make a ramp onto the couch and launch his cars off of. I know we could probably get a nugget or something similar, but this will do for now since our household goods will be shipped for like 3 to 6 months this year. So maybe we'll look into one once we get to where we're going, which we find out in about 3 weeks where we're going. And I'm so excited and I just can't wait. I don't think it's just Emmett, but When you clean up the toys in your house, does your kid just stop and stare at you like you have two heads for cleaning up their toys? Finally, we made it into Emmett's room and he found his box that he wanted to sit in. This probably lasted for a half hour. He did not want to get out of this box. He wanted to cuddle his stuffies and drive his little cars on the other little box. Okay, so for lunch, I made Emmett some chicken noodle soup. He had some cucumbers and some more cereal that he had this morning. I was so proud of him for using the spoon. He does fairly well, but he made it into his mouth with noodles, so I was so excited. And I just had this sad little cabbage salad for lunch. Okay, after nap, I was optimistic. I thought that we'd be able to do this cute little penguin art project with his foot and all would go well, but he wasn't thrilled. He was actually super upset with me for trying to paint his foot and put it on this little piece of paper. I think it extra irritated him when I wiped off his foot. But once we were done, I tidied up around the edges, I guess. I used the paintbrush to outline where his foot had already been, just to make it less noticeable that it did not go well. I also learned this trick from a lady on Instagram who said once you are done with your art projects with your kids, just use your pinky finger for their little toes and your thumb for their big toe, and you'll never notice that their toes didn't hit the paper. It might be cheating and they're not really his toes, but it's just as cute. Once Emmett's footprint was dry, I went in with a Sharpie and wrote on a quote I found on Pinterest, just one that coordinates a little bit with the winter art project. There's no place like home. And I was a little disappointed in myself for not placing the words underneath the footprint better because they were a little bit off-centered. So later I ended up trimming a little of the excess paper off so it looked slightly more centered. I added the dots and snowflakes to make it look more intentional and less off-centered. And the end project was pretty cute. I should have actually painted the white part of the penguin just a little more, but I was impatient and ready for it to be done since this art project was not my smoothest. Once I was finished writing on the art project, Emmett was ready to race around the house for just a little bit. Now he was ready for a snack, and apparently he had that little puffy cereal for every single meal this day. So this was actually really cool, and I really hope that I explain it right. So if you're leaving the north side of the base to go to main base, and this light is red, you have to stop because it means that the plane that is leaving the gate is taxiing over to the runway, and I've never actually had to wait for it. So it was super cool to have to wait for it and be able to drive right next to it. So for supper this night, we went to our favorite sushi place called Kappa Sushi. Most plates are about 110 yen, which is usually about an equivalent to one US dollar. And this place is super fun. It has a train that delivers your sushi on it. Sometimes it's one by one, sometimes it's all four. This cookies and cream little cake was to die for. It was so good. I don't even know how to explain it. After supper, we came to my favorite 100 yen store. This store is basically a dollar store. It has it all. It has dishes, Tupperware, coffee cups, cleaning essentials, bathroom supplies. You can get craft supplies here, gardening stuff, paper supplies, kids' toys, organizational, everything. This store is wonderful. While I was walking around this store, Rachel and Emmett ran across the parking lot to Yokomachi, which is a grocery store, to get some more milk because we were all out. Once we got home, Emmett cozied himself up on the couch, and that was code to be done. We actually did a lot more than I anticipated this day, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.